coach at the University of South Florida, Bryan Hodgson, studio. Yes. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. It's good to see you.
Me. Yeah, absolutely.
So I got to tell you, Coach came in. He said, "Hey, I'm a little worried about having the Bills hat on." I said, "Not here, Coach. We respect your beginnings as a fan, because you come from Buffalo, right?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And you are a Bills fan. You love the Bucks for a reason we're about to. But you grew up in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm from Western New York, Jamestown, New York, about an hour, 15 minutes south of Buffalo. So, diehard Bills fan, all in on everything Bills Mafia. I will say my second best team, not even close, is the Tampa Bay Bucks, and that was before I even showed up in Tampa. So I don't want anybody thinking that this just. And I think you know the reason.
Yeah. Well, as I've always said, one of my old colleagues, Steve Dumig, the big dog, old radio host here, may he rest in peace, used to say, if you move here, you got to be a Bucks fan. And I would say, you know what? If you grew up someplace else and your heart and your allegiance is to that team, you can't just dump them like that. Then you're inauthentic.
That's right.
And you're an authentic person. I know this already.
Yeah, loyalty is a big deal to me. And I mean, yeah, I've been a Bills fan my whole life. I've, as you know, some tough years. And so I can't just dump that. I'm a loyal guy, and but I'm all in on the Bucks. I will be at every game that I can be at, particularly, hopefully, maybe one in Buffalo.
Yes, yes.
But so I am gonna, if the Bills, if they're not playing the Bills, I'm all in on the Bucks. I can tell you that.
And the reason is,
well, so if you go back to the 2018 draft, the Bucks are the reason why the Buffalo Bills have Josh Allen.
That's right.
We traded our 12th pick. We traded up with the Bucks, got their 7th pick so we could acquire Josh Allen. And I think it worked out for everybody, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we got Vita Vea. Well,
that's
Vita
just
fine.
Has been pretty
couple
good.
Second round picks. Yeah.
So, and you know what? The Bucks have been pretty good sense also. So I think it worked for everybody. Yeah,
we weren't in the market for a quarterback at that particular time.
No, you were not.
We're still working on the Jameis experiment, but that's on us.
Yeah,
that's on us. Well, Coach, it's so glad to have you in studio, and you have been a busy man.
Yeah,
dude, this entire roster you have 2 holdovers from last year USF team, and this is modern college basketball, right? It's turnover every year with the transfer portal. Everybody's going to go. And your class that you brought in is ranked 29th in the nation. This is the highest ranked class USF has, I think, ever had. So let's just get right into it. Tell me a little bit about this team. What are we going to see?
Those rankings, and at the end of the day, it means nothing, right? We got to produce, but It's great for our fan base, et cetera. But those rankings don't factor in our Division II transfer because they don't factor that.
And this kid's a hell of a point guard,
and he's got a shot to be really, really good. He's a worker, player of the year, defensive player of the year in his league, and that's Wes Enos. So he's not factored into that.
Wow.
And then our Canadian that went to high school in Canada is not factored into some of those rankings because they only rank kids that go to high school in the United States.
Well, that's
most
weird.
Websites. So I'd put our class up there with pretty much anybody in the country. More importantly, we have great young men. And so we've got a class that's made up of 5 freshmen, 2 guys from this team last year, and CJ, and obviously we had to go out and bring the rest in from the transfer portal. But we're really, really excited about the group. We're in week 4 of practice, and I couldn't be happier with the way things are going.
And one of the things we've always said about USF is if they can recruit locally and keep the good players here, that would be huge. Not since my good buddy David Zimroth was recruiting here have we really been able to do that. And you've got Caleb Sanders coming in from North Tampa Christian. And he, from what I hear, he's one hell of a player. He's also got some other. There's also some other players up there that you might be knocking on the door of as well, right?
Yeah, Caleb's been phenomenal. He's had a wonderful summer. He doesn't practice like a freshman. I can tell you that. Right before he committed to us, he had 3 SEC teams, 2 ACC teams come in and offer.
How about that? So you beat the ACC and the SEC for this local kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, it can be done, folks. It can be done.
Yeah, specifically, Florida State offered. the week before
Killing
we
my
got
nose.
him. Ole Miss offered the week before we got him. Mississippi State offered the week before
Wow.
we got him. And so we're excited about that. And you're right, here locally, I can't say names per NCAA rules, but here locally, there's some talent here in the next 2-3 classes that we're going to do our best to keep home.
What's your plan for that? What's your plan for putting a fence around Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I think the first thing is you got to build strong relationships, right?
Bingo.
And you just can't expect them to want to stay home because they're from here. That's not realistic. So we're going to take pride in working harder than other people in that process, but also providing them with a brand of basketball that they're excited about staying home and playing and being a part of. And so we'll get a chance to showcase that this year. We're going to probably play more like the NBA, I would say, than most South Florida fans are used to. We're going to get up and down, shoot a lot of threes, attack the rim and transition. And it's an exciting brand of basketball. I've coached 15 guys that have gone on to play in the NBA. So obviously we sell that in recruiting.
Nice.
From a development piece. And we want to be all encompassing to the point where they feel like they can stay home and they're not leaving anything on the table.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. Well, let's talk about a little bit more about your players. You brought in a 6'10" young man from Arkansas State, where you were. Tell me a little bit about him.
When I got to Arkansas State, I guess almost 3 years ago now, he could barely walk and chew gum. He was hiding behind the basket during conditioning drills, but he has grown to be one of the best forwards in college basketball. And I'll argue that with anybody. He had a 30 and 20 game last year in conference play. And
Damn.
He did that in less than 30 minutes. And 11 of those 20 rebounds were offensive rebounds.
Nice.
If you go back and look,
it's a lost start.
Yeah.
It's a lost start.
And if you go back and look what he did last year against North Texas, obviously in this league, he double and was dominant. He could have gone anywhere in the country when he hit the transfer portal. And he's a very loyal young man and decided to come here with me. It wasn't a tough sell once he saw what we have and saw campus and our facilities in the city of Tampa. And so really excited to have him. I think he'll be one of the best players in the American this year.
All right, let's have a little fun with this. Okay, let's pretend I'm a really good two guard from South Broward High School. Part of this is actually true. 3-point specialist. Can't jump that good, but I'm a dogged defensive player. I'm a 4-star. Now we're really fantasy. I got some SEC teams looking at me. Give me the pitch. What's the pitch for USF?
So first and foremost, we're gonna talk about our style of play. And really, that's tough to answer if I don't know the team specifically. Here's why: we do a very analytical approach into our recruiting, and so we're going to take those other 4 or 5 teams that you're looking at. We're going to break them down by the numbers and show you where we have an advantage. Not just in the way we play, but the way we develop and how it translates to the NBA. So that's first and foremost. And most of our kids that joined us this offseason made a decision based on that. We probably are more in depth analytically and more invested into their player development than anybody else in the country. I'm not going to share our secrets here, but
don't do that.
We give them a presentation when they come on campus for a visit that they just can't get anywhere else in college basketball.
Can you take us a little behind the curtain?
Yeah, we give them a very detailed shot type report. Let's say they're a transfer. We'll go back to your scenario. You're a high school kid. We take every shot you took last year in your high school season, and we break it down into the honestly all the way down to whether you took off on your left foot, your right foot, where you're at on the floor, whether you touched the paint, whether you didn't touch the paint, whether you were moving right to left versus left to right, and we show you where your deficiencies are. Every shot you took on that entire season's on that sheet. It's hours and hours of
How do you do that?
I've got guys that work for me that are a lot smarter than me.
So they go through all the highlights.
It's not highlights. We go through.
There's data on this.
And pull the data. If we're missing data, we'll go through the film and stat it ourselves. And so other programs talk player development.
Yeah,
we try to remove any human error and we want to show you numbers and say, listen, this is where you got to get better. This is over 25 games. Okay, 25 games worth of data. Nothing's a coincidence, right? So if you shot 18% going left to right, but when you were going right to left, you were a 42% 3-point shooter. We really need to get in and work on this left to right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff the NBA is doing. Our business.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. It's a copycat business, right?
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about fundraising and academics.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
All the things that come with college basketball, which I love, but why would we not copy the NBA?
Yeah.
Right? The guys that just get to focus on basketball all day.
Right.
And so I've coached 15 young men that have been able to put that jersey on, 4 lottery picks, 6 first-round draft picks. And so we use that in our recruiting approach.
Go ahead, name drop them. Go ahead.
Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller was a number 2 pick in the draft in 2023. He's entering his 3rd season in the NBA, number 2 overall pick. I signed him at Alabama. Herb Jones just signed a $100 million contract with the New Orleans Pelicans. One of my favorite stories of all time. Herb was not on any mock draft boards, was not a top 100 kid. When we inherited him at Alabama, he was a power forward. When he left us, he was a 6'8" point guard. Keon Ellis.
That's player development.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Keon Ellis is starting every game for the Sacramento Kings. And this coming off season is on the table for a massive contract. Josh Primo was a lottery pick. Kyra Lewis was a lottery pick. J.D. Davison won a ring with the Boston Celtics, was the MVP of the G League last year. Alex Reese is on a contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. I had Jonathan Williams with the Houston Rockets last year. The list goes on. We had 12 guys in NBA Summer League last year that I coached, 8 this summer that I've coached. So,
and I'm guessing you're using all these guys for recruiting when you can.
Yeah,
as
more so of an example.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to put them on the phone with the young man.
You're right.
But we show them, hey, this is what we did. Here's the best part. People want to visit Tampa, so half these guys have been in our gym already.
Really?
I mean, people want to come to Tampa. So
of course they do.
Herb Jones was down here a couple of weeks ago. He was in our gym, getting a workout in. Keon Ellis will be up here next week. Brandon Miller most likely will be here in August. Tampa's a place people want to hang out, right?
Wow.
So very fortunate. And so our guys will get to see those guys on a regular basis. And it's really fun to follow their careers. But, I'm not taking all the credit for how those guys got to where they are. But I do think the way that we played at Alabama definitely helped propel them in that process.
Bryan Hodgson is our guest, new USF men's basketball coach. It's got 13 new guys coming into the team. It'll be a whole new team. That's a fascinating story. I'm glad I asked that question and got that answer, because I can imagine. By the way, I'm signing that whole pitch you just made. I'm in. I got it, and I do need to work on my left.
And he didn't ask for any NIL money. We're in business. Free one.
I know my worth.
Better check his eligibility first.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to bring the team GPA up. I do know that. It's about the best thing I could give you. All right, tell me a little bit more about some of the players that are going to round out this team. We talked about the point guard.
So Joe Pinion, another guy that I brought with me, former top 100 recruit, started his career at the University of Arkansas and then came to play with us last year at Arkansas State University. And to give an easy comp for our fan base, we played Memphis last year. They were 18th in the country, I believe. Mm-hmm. We went in and popped Memphis at Memphis, and he had 25 points in that game.
Wow.
So one of the best shooters I've ever been around, 6'5".
Memphis had a good squad last year.
Yeah.
I was sitting on courtside with my good friend Clay, who's a big booster. I'll introduce you to him. He loves USF basketball.
Nice.
Sits right there on the floor.
Great.
One of my good buddies. He's just like, can I come in and meet Coach Hodgson? I said, we'll get that done.
Bring him on in.
We'll get that done. We'll get that done at some point. So
we got Joe.
Yeah.
Again, I mentioned Wes Enos, Division II, probably the best player to leave Division II this year. To give some perspective, Wes was the player of the year and defensive player of the year in his conference. The second best player on his team signed at Auburn.
Wow.
So to put things in perspective a little bit, from there, we've got Devin Hade from Central Connecticut State. An all NEC guy, a big 6'5" athletic wing, 25 years old, phenomenal story. I'll let him tell someday, but didn't get recruited out of high school, was working a third shift job, and then tried out and made a junior college team, and the rest is history.
And now he's playing. That's awesome. What year is he?
He's well, the rules have changed so much.
He's a
senior, but maybe a junior. We have him at least for one, but possibly for two.
Nice.
Because he can get that junior college year back. We've got Josh Amojafo, who had 22 points against Alabama in the first round of the NCAA tournament, a transfer from Robert Morris, another 6'5" wing. You're going to see a common theme.
Yeah.
We've got Damian Collins, former top 20 recruit in the country. Started his career out at Kentucky, a 6'10", elite athlete, shot blocker, 4'5" from LSU, transfer from LSU, who I think's got a chance to be one of the better players in the American. We've got our three Canadians who, for anybody that hasn't seen, we're just participating in the FIBA Under-19 World Cup, which was over in Switzerland, and
nice.
I actually made the trip to go watch them. And so basically all the countries take the 12 best players from their country. The Canadians lost to Team USA, who eventually won the entire thing. 12 best players under 19 from the United States. Canadians lost by 6, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 8. It was a one possession game with about 3 minutes to go. For a bulk of that game, our guys were the best players on the floor.
Damn. And this is the best the USA has.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Adriel Niorha had 16 points and 6 assists, if I'm not mistaken. Onyx Nani, another 6'9" freshman, had, I believe, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. Tristan Beckford had 18 points and 8 rebounds against Team USA.
Wow.
And it feels a little un-American, but I felt like they kind of got the short end of the stick. Team USA shot 47 free throws. The Canadians shot 20 and lost by 6. So a little disparity there. But,
yeah. That's all right. You can say that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to root for my guys, right?
Absolutely. We talk about loyalty, right?
Yeah,
These are your guys.
We've got 4 Canadians on the team. So, and I've had a long history.
Well, they're Bulls now.
They are Bulls.
So that's what's most important.
Got a long history of recruiting Canada, so you'll see that as a common theme with us. I've had a lottery pick played for us at Alabama. I recruit Toronto pretty heavily, some strong relationships there. Caleb Sanders, you mentioned from right here locally, who's phenomenal, top 150 player in the country. Gavin Hightower, top 150 player in the country from Sierra Canyon High School in Los Angeles, a little point guard that we've got.
How are you going to keep all these kids happy? You got a lot of talent here.
We do. And
how deep do you typically go on your bench? What's your rotation?
We'll probably be 11 in the non-con.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the heart of conference play, we're usually down to 9.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. So Deontay Green is coming back from last year's team, but he's going to be out this year with an Achilles that happened last season. So we have 14 guys. We'll play 11 early, play 9 down the stretch, and there's a good chance maybe we redshirt a couple freshmen. You never know how things will stack up because they've been so good here early. But we've got a great group. I'm really excited about.
Bryan Hodgson joining us here, USF men's basketball coach. In his first 100 days, recruited the top 30 class, 29 class, maybe even. Well, it's got to be higher than that with the guys that weren't counted into this. So tell me, what's the transition been like for you? What was it about South Florida that you loved, USF?
Yeah, but before we get there, real quick, I don't want to leave this out. We get so caught up talking about the new guys. We said CJ Brown has been phenomenal.
One of your holdovers, yeah.
Our offense and CJ is a perfect marriage. Got a chance to put college basketball on notice this year. And more importantly, and this ties into your question, CJ could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, he was in the portal.
Could have gone anywhere, and he chose to stay here at South Florida. And we had a quick conversation, and for about a week. And so I'd like to think that I have a very small part in that, but more importantly, this community, the university, our athletic department, our fan base had the biggest part in that. He wanted to stay here, and that says a lot about this place, which, excuse me, leads to what you just asked. I fell in love with this opportunity. Had several opportunities this offseason. As I went through the interview process and spoke to the leadership that we have here in place at the University of South Florida, obviously Michael Kelly's not here anymore, but started with Michael Kelly and Lee Butler, and I was, was all in. And then I was fortunate enough to get to have conversations with President Law, Chairman of the board, William Weatherford, Vice Chairman Mike Griffin, CEO of the foundation, Jay Stroman, and alignment was something I was really looking for. I've been around the block now. I've seen what it looks like. I've seen what athletic departments look like when they don't have it. This place has it. You got a bunch of people that are highly invested into one common goal, and that's to improve the University of South Florida's athletic department and the university as a whole, and to make Tampa proud. And that their vision, their enthusiasm, I fell in love with the slogan, Tampa Bay's home for hoops. I think that's great. We've got hockey, we've got baseball, we've got football. If I'm not mistaken, all three have won their respective championships in the last 5 years. Right. So that's unheard of. So now we're going to bring the basketball.
The Rays have gotten close, but they got to the World Series. They didn't win it, but
I'm sorry, went in the last 5 years. Yes, went. Excuse me.
Well, with the new owners, we're going to get there.
Yeah, we're going to get. I'm all in on the Rays. By the way, I have no real, true baseball loyalty, so I am all in on the Rays.
Fantastic. I can't be a Blue Jay fan.
No. I'm not a Blue Jay fan. Closest. That would have been the closest team outside of that. You're looking at Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
No.
And
Gross.
My grandfather, my dad, and my grandparents are from Pittsburgh, so I was kind of there, kind of the Braves growing up. I mean, that
we all were there.
I mean, that was unbelievable baseball.
Smoltzy was on the show Friday.
Was he really?
Yeah, he's a friend of the program.
Okay,
you'll meet him.
I grew up watching.
He loves hoops. You would have recruited John Smoltz. He was a hell of a basketball player.
Really?
Yeah, in Michigan. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, he multi-sport athlete.
I was all
big
in
time.
on Smoltz, man.
Yeah.
And they were on TV every night, right?
Yeah, right. TBS.
So, TBS. I watched the Braves all the time. Chipper Jones, that whole crew. And so, long story short, I wanted to be a part of being behind the face of basketball for such a great city like Tampa.
Yeah.
I've argued this with anybody that'll listen. Where in the country is better to live than Tampa, Florida?
There isn't. This is it.
We can.
I argue that all the time.
I'm ready to argue if anybody wants. I mean, you can talk about some other places like Charleston and San Diego, places I love to go visit.
Yeah.
They're not Tampa.
No, we have it all.
We do.
We got the weather. We got the beaches. We've got the major sports. We've got major entertainment. And as something you probably already figured out, the people are different here.
Yeah.
It's not Miami. It's not all the show and the glitz and the glamour. These are grounded people, very much a blue collar, very much like Buffalo, I think, without the freezing cold.
I like to say that, without the cold.
Yeah.
I like to say this. Now, we're not going to just blast Buffalo. Now, if you were in Buffalo right now in the summertime, you wouldn't leave.
No, I said the people are awesome.
Yeah, the people
I
are great.
love Bills Mafia.
You've
jumped through a table. You told me this.
I've been through tables.
We love the people up there.
I was at a
They're
game.
not Philadelphia, that's for sure.
I was at a game against the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning, where I couldn't see the fans on the other side of the stadium from my seats because of the snow, which was awesome.
Which you don't have to worry about here.
So back to Tampa and how great of a city. My only complaint is, and I may get blasted for this, I think we need some driving courses to be taken here in Tampa. That
is a very popular opinion.
Those are transplants, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where they're from, but it is a lot. You got to have a head on a swivel. Driving around Tampa.
It's brutal, bro.
Those are the Ohio transplants.
That's a very popular opinion. Yes.
Yeah, Ohio transplants. That makes a lot of sense.
A lot of people that don't know the rules of the road here that were probably just came here recently, and somebody threw them a set of keys and said, "Yeah, go ahead and drive the car."
I think someone told them that, hey, here in Tampa, we don't have to use turn signals. I think that's what
drives me crazy.
What happened, but I love it. We've my family and I, we've settled in here in South Tampa.
Beautiful place.
Oh man, what a cool place to live.
Yeah.
We love every second of it. You get the big city / small town feel at the same time.
You got it. You figured it out.
15 minutes from everything, man. It's great.
Yeah, it is a wonderful place to live. But I come from a Florida State background. In fact, when we first got into the ACC, I was a basketball analyst on the radio network working with the great Gene Deckerhoff. So I got to tour the ACC, and after shoot arounds, we'd run Cameron Indoor, the Dean Dome, all the places, all these great places, Tobacco Road. It was a dream come true for a hoops junkie like me. But if there's one thing that's missing in Tampa, it's big time hoops. And we've just never
anymore.
And Amir gave us a taste a couple years ago. And when FAU came here, that place was freaking jumping. The line was around the building. The Yuengling Center had a feel to it like I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It had a feel to it and a vibe to it that I've never seen in USF. Back in the early, they were top 25 under Seth for a little bit. We had it going a little bit, but that was a different type of deal. And I'm like, man, we need this. We need this like on a every year basis. And we're hoping to God that you can bring that vibe back. And it sounds like you're well on your way.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons, again, why I wanted to be here and turn down other opportunities to be here. And I won't name the other schools, but some of these other schools were places that other people would think, well, why wouldn't you take that? Why would you go to? I get the question on the road all the time. And I love telling people why.
Yeah.
But Coach Amir set the tone and showed people how special this place was. And so this is not a rebuild. I get the opportunity to build on a foundation that he laid. And I couldn't be more proud to be able to follow him and what he did, because he's one of the best human beings I've ever met in my life. And so very, very fortunate to have this opportunity. Again, he was really able to show how special this place. He did it right away.
Yeah.
Won the league in year one. And so just thrilled to be here and build on that foundation. I think I take pride at Arkansas State. We went from second lowest or lowest attendance in the league when I took the job over. This last year, we were number one in the league in attendance. We went from about averaging around 1,000 fans per game to about 7,500.
Wow.
And so we're going to do that here. We're going to get in the community. We're going to get out on campus. All the things Coach Amir did a phenomenal job at. You want to talk about engaging the student body?
Yeah, he did.
They loved coaching for good reason, and we're going to follow that lead and make sure we've got one of the best home court environments in college basketball.
Yeah, Brian, I wanted to get into that a little bit real quick.
Hear from Tim here.
We've talked about your players quite a bit. Let's talk about you a little bit. You turned around an Arkansas State team in literally 2 years, back-to-back 21 seasons, 25 wins last year. You took them to the postseason for the first time since most of our listeners have been alive in 1999. Where did you get your basketball brain? Like, what do you credit to your knowledge and your ability to turn a program around like that was literally just sort of bobbing up and down, ready to sink?
Yeah, first and foremost, I've got the best staff in the country, and I'm very fortunate they all came here with me. I can't stand the head coaches that sit up here in the media and me. I've got the best assistants and support staff in the country. They're all a lot smarter than me. And so that plays a huge part in it. We take pride in outworking people, but I also got to give a ton of credit to Nate Oates, head coach at the University of Alabama, my mentor. Worked for him for 8 years, 4 years at the University of Buffalo, 4 years at Alabama. We took over a program at Alabama that hadn't won anything in a long time, and we won 4 SEC championships in 4 years.
How about that?
Put 12 players in the NBA in 4 years, 4 first-round draft picks. He is probably the best mind in college basketball. You look at a program 6 years ago. Was anybody talking about Alabama basketball?
No.
They're coming off a back-to-back Final Four, Elite Eight, SEC championship, #1 overall seed the year before that. And so I thought I knew basketball when I went to work for Nate as a young 26-year-old assistant at the University of Buffalo. I had no idea. And I learned so much under Coach Oates. And we emulate a lot that they do and put my own spin on those things. And we've had a lot of success with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing for me. What do you need from us? You said getting out in the community, and I've been on this for a long, long time. We need to be better as a fan base, not only for our Rays, Bucks, Lightning, we got great fans here. I just think we need to be better for USF. And so what do you need from us in terms of money, support? What can we do?
Yeah, so it's such a great job. We don't have to go out and necessarily beat the streets, which I've had to do at some other places. We've got great resources, but obviously college athletics, right? It's part of the deal. So we're hosting a golf tournament on August 25th. It's kind of going to be our one men's basketball specific fundraiser for the year. And it's more so, it's not necessarily about raising funds. We don't have this crazy need right now that we just got to go get money. We want to tap into the community, right? And so we're looking for whole sponsors. We're looking for anybody that wants to put a foursome in. It's going to be at TPC Tampa on August 25th. The link is all over our social media. And so if you want to,
we'll fill it up.
Yeah. If you're interested in signing up as a sponsor or, putting a foursome in, I'll tell you this. I don't want to say now, but we're going to have some great celebrity appearances at the golf tournament.
Nice.
The tee gifts are going to probably the best tee gifts you'll get at any golf tournament around here.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
There's going to be some exclusive stuff that the only time you're able to get this gear is at our golf tournament once a year. And so
this is from your golf tournament.
Okay.
Of years past.
Yeah. We're
football
taking,
team. Yeah.
We're taking it up a notch.
Yeah.
And so there's going to,
he ain't lying, by the way.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
We've got some stuff in the works that, like, if you're not there, there's definitely going to be a little fear of missing out.
Oh, a little FOMO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little FOMO. So
all right.
We've been doing it at Arkansas State the last 2 years. We've had a blast. We're only taking 22 teams. We're about half full right now. And so,
that's going to go fast.
So we want to get this thing filled up and hit the sponsorships and get those filled up. But all the players will be there on every tee box, the whole coaching staff,
awesome.
Along with some local Tampa celebrities, sports figures, and even some from across the country.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time to come in here. You're welcome anytime. If you're just running around getting a workout in, pop in. We'll just talk some hoops. We got so much more to talk about it, but we're here for you. We're going to promote this program. We're going to promote your golf tournament every day till we get it full up. So keep me posted.
Can I get one thing? I want
do whatever you want.
I want to know.
It's your show.
They can tag me on social media. I want to know what the best Bills backers bar is in Tampa.
I already know. Riveters.
It is
the official sports bar of the JP Peterson Show.
Really?
Yes. Bills Mafia.
Mafia. Yep.
I'm pretty. I'll have to double check.
Okay.
But if it's not that, it may be the patio. One, it's either that, but I know.
There's also now, shameless plug, Duff's Chicken Wings is now in Tampa.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't, that's true Buffalo Chicken Wings, but I'm sure people will be going there for the games. But yeah, I'm gonna be somewhere on Sundays watching my Bills.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna drag you over to Riveters and try their chicken wings too.
I'm all
we'll do a little video. Since you're an expert. We'll do a little video.
I want to follow how they rank. I just want to hang with you for a week, and I followed your social media from this last weekend. That looks like my kind of weekend. I saw some boat action, saw a little country club, pool action, got the dog in the water. So I just book a weekend with,
This is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
My lovely wife, who's from upstate New York, is already chiming in, and she said, Tampa is not upstate. LOL. I'm like, no, our weather's way better. But the people are similar, I think.
Yeah, they are. Good.
I think are good,
hardworking people.
Blue collar people. Yeah,
absolutely. Where's your wife from?
She's from Rochester area.
Wow.
Saratoga.
Okay. So Saratoga. Summertime in Saratoga. Beautiful.
The best, right?
Racetrack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if she's from the Rochester area, she knows about a garbage plate. That's probably something that's
garbage plate.
Yeah. You have to ask her about that.
All right. Chime in, honey. Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks so much for jumping in, man. I really appreciate it. Great to meet you. I look forward. Yeah, we could definitely hang out at the Palmacia pool whenever you want. Bring the fam over. Absolutely.
There's like a 15-year wait list, so I'm gonna have to come with you.
Kyle Tucker can't even get in. Best player in baseball, he can't even get in. It's ridiculous. But people, and I'll introduce you to a lot of people. So it's better. It's actually better being a guest than it is being a member. Trust
cheaper,
me.
Right?
Hell yeah. That's why my friends made me a member. They were sick of me mooching off them as a guest. I'm like, get your ass in here.
I bet.
They forced me to come in. Yeah. All right, Coach. Appreciate you. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side.